Welcome back to TMJ4 News at 5. You're about to hear the stories of two local women who battled and survived coronavirus.
They are Kitty Genslen and Leah Blomberg. Kitty, we're going to start with you. You've told me that when you were in the middle of your illness at the end of March, you were worried because it just was not stopping. Tell me about that feeling when you're in the middle of this fight and you don't know where the end of the tunnel is.
Right. When I got sick, my symptoms really started on the 10th of March and didn't let up for about 11 days. And I had multiple conversations with my husband where I was really afraid. I had a terrible cough. I had fevers all day long, headaches and body chills. And I just couldn't see it getting better. And I was afraid I was going to tip and end up in the hospital.
So frightening. And Leah, you actually were on a ventilator. Can you describe the conditions that you felt as your body began to deteriorate? It's got to be just horrible.
Yeah, it got pretty scary. I was, I think I actually got sick at the end of February as well. I thought I just had the flu because they were saying that there were only a couple of cases in the entire state at the time. And at the time they were saying that it was just the immune compromised and elderly that were at risk. So I really didn't think I had it until one day at the end of March, I just was having such a hard time breathing. It was too bad. So my husband finally took me to the ER. He'd been begging me to for weeks, but I finally gave in. I was having trouble breathing. And they tested me right away for the flu and the cold and everything. And then they did the coronavirus test. And my lungs were I had double pneumonia at that point due to the COVID. And so they called for an ambulance right away for me and transferred me to Menominee Falls. I'm in the New Berlin area.
Leah, we've seen this photo of you, Leah, where you're given two thumbs up there in the hospital room. But you and I talked earlier. I noticed in your eyes, you just look absolutely miserable in that photo. I know we showed it a bit earlier. What was it like your road back from coronavirus? You needed physical therapy, right?
Yeah, while I was in the hospital, I received physical therapy and occupational therapy. And they were actually talking about having me go to an aftercare facility for another couple weeks after I got out. But just the thought of having to spend 2 more weeks away from my husband just really kicked my butt into high gear. And I did everything I could to go home right away. And I was lucky enough to be able to. I was in the hospital for 18 days, 9 of which you mentioned, was on the ventilator. So completely immobilized. And that when I first went to stand the first time, it was crazy. I'm like, okay, how did my body forget how to walk?
Well, we're just so happy that you are here and with us and talking. And Kitty, you didn't have it that bad, but today, can you tell us how are you feeling today and what are you doing?
I feel great. I'm doing everything that I certainly have done in the past. And I am following all the guidelines that everyone else is following while we, move to our next steps in this process.
Kitty Genslen, Leah Blomberg, we thank both of you for sharing just a portion of your stories with us today, and hopefully people out there take them to heart as we all continue to learn about what coronavirus can do.
Yeah, thank you very much.